More about what led to a deadly shooting spree over the weekend in the IE. 2 people were shot and killed outside a shopping center, followed by an off-duty deputy taking out the suspected gunman.
And now it is news reporter Leticia Juarez is live in Fontana with new details on this story. Leticia.
Well, I'll tell you this, David and Giovanna, we've learned from police that at the time of that shooting, there was plenty of law enforcement in the area, most of them off duty, enjoying the night with their families. But unfortunately, they were unable to do anything about the shooting that took place just outside the sushi restaurant, telling us that it was a domestic violence situation where a woman in the process of getting a divorce was tracked down by her estranged husband, who then shot her and her date here in this parking lot.
All right, MC, early thoughts.
Right off the rip, what she just said right there is the exact reason why you need to ask a woman about her body count and who she used to mess with.
Facts. Well, I think it's more important who she dating. And if you're in a estranged relationship, separated, like, look, MC, I know you've been married for a while, but for some of us single bros, sometimes you run into a lot, especially around my age, you run into a lot of women exiting their marriages, and you don't know what degree that they're exiting those marriages on. You don't know how it played out. There's some more insight to this story, though. And notice how they said, she's with a date. So I've seen this story play in 2 different places. And one said it was a business partner, and the other said it was a date. Call it what it is. That dude was clapping cheeks. Like, ain't no woman going to no sushi restaurant just to, oh, let's go ahead and talk business. That's a damn date. Like, come on, stop the cap on that.
It certainly looks like one on the surface, that's for sure.
Facts.
We gain all this weight during our pregnancy because we're not taught how to properly eat.
Social media influencer and fitness coach Gloria Zamora
Social media influencer, fitness coach. Got it. Okay.
inspired busy women to get and stay fit. But behind the strength she exhibited on camera, her personal life was taking a hit. Zamora spoke out about her pending divorce to her thousands of followers just last week on the Horizon podcast.
Instead of you being supportive, you're over here trying to just bring me down.
On Saturday night, the 40-year-old alongside 43-year-old Hector Garduno was shot and killed outside a Fontana sushi restaurant.
There was a male and a female that were estranged. They're going through a divorce that led to this.
Investigators say Zamora's estranged husband, Thomas Alberto Tamayo Lizarraga, gunned down the 2 in the parking lot.
We don't know how he knew where she was at, but apparently she had been at the restaurant for approximately an hour prior to the shooting.
The shooting caught the attention of several off-duty law enforcement officers in the area who responded to the sound of gunfire, including an off-duty San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputy.
Apparently he was driving on the street outside of the shopping center and heard the gunshots and saw what had happened, made a U-turn at the light and got out of his vehicle to confront the suspect.
Lizarraga was shot and killed during the confrontation. In a GoFundMe page set up for Zamora, her daughter stated that her mother was murdered by her stepdad. Both victims leave behind children.
You hear that? Stepdad. This is all I got to say, man. There's just so much to this story. It's mind blowing. Look at this. I don't know if you can see it, but she leaves behind 7 beautiful children, ages 8 to 24. So I'm assuming the daughter is the one they were talking about that set this up, though. But this woman in her 40s has an 8-year-old at the very least, and is exiting a relationship. And as she's exiting a relationship, she gets into another relationship with some other man who, I don't understand. Like, there's a couple things wrong here, though, because you got the stepdad, and then you have the new man who thinks this is a good opportunity for him. This woman has 7 kids, and I'll say 6 kids because one of them was 24. This was a bad deal all the way around for everybody, and he lost his life because he wanted to get his dick wet. This is the conversation that men got to start having. And I feel for the family. You lost your mom. It's a very tragic thing. It's sad. And I understand all that. It's just that men, you have to start paying attention, and you cannot overlook some of these things.
let me start with this quote unquote estranged husband slash stepfather. Biggest damn beta simp soy boy. This is an extreme case of what happens when you let this type of energy go uncontrolled.
Yep.
If she want to leave, you gotta let her leave, bro. You crashed out over somebody who didn't want to be with you anymore, and she had 7 kids. I'm going to assume, just because history shows that these women have multiple babies' fathers, so at least some of those children were not yours.
Yeah.
You wanted to hold on to somebody who was clearly trying to get out and do something else. This dude was weak, just terrible and weak. Like, these are the type of men we got to get up out of here. I mean, they certainly shouldn't be owning firearms. Let's throw that out there. Number two, looking at the age ranges of her kids, it sounded like it was a date. So my question is, why are you dating? You
Yeah.
have young kids, and you have 7 of them.
Yep.
One's an adult, but let's be honest. In your 20s, 9 times out of 10, you're still borrowing money from your parents. So you got 7 kids, and you out here trying to, and the youngest one is 6, and you out here trying to
Or
go to
8. Yeah.
sushi. 8, okay, that's still young. You out here trying to get it in on sushi dates and dinners.
Yeah.
What's up? Priorities, man. What's up with the
Yep.
priorities?
Well,
And that woman has a responsibility to tell any man that she's with, look, this might not be the best move for you because my ex is kind of crazy. You know when your ex is
yeah.
crazy. Everybody does.
But
And you didn't disclose that.
you know what's crazy though? I'm gonna correct her right there. She did disclose it. She told people in her IG, like as you were telling, as you were talking, I just realized, yeah, she told people. She told all of her followers on TikTok or IG that she was having marital problems. And look, I understand that guy. Maybe she didn't tell him
And
directly.
TR, that makes the guy that she was at the sushi bar look even worse
Yep.
because he knew
That's
the dangers and he still wanted to get involved. He
that's
was
where I'm
so
going.
infatuated with her looks and beauty that he completely disregarded his logic and safety.
Yep, that's where I'm going because look, you got to look at a woman's social media profile, okay? And this woman is a social media influencer, and just from the pictures or the videos that they showed, like she's selling cheeks. Like she ain't trying to uplift women or whatever the case is. She's selling ass. That's what she's selling. And again, I I hate to be saying this stuff directly, but that guy, he crashed out though because I don't know well, I saw a picture what he looks like. He definitely outkicked his punt coverage with her. And she got her body back. She got back into shape. She started getting all this attention from social media, and it's mainly attentions from men. These aren't most of your followers, and I heard somebody say this. For the women that are, fitness coaches and influencers, blah, blah, blah. If the majority of your audience is men, you're not making any money. Men ain't getting no coaching calls from you. Men ain't buying no recipe any food recipes from you. They're not, or trying to how to manage your food or whatever the case is. Like they're not doing any of those things. They're just looking at you eye candy, you selling cheeks and tits and everything. That's what it is. Like men just don't do stuff like that. So for the new guy coming in, if she had a public persona like that, you should have known better. You should have been. It should have been like, oh wow, I get to be with this woman. No, you should have known that either the husband is estranged, is crazy, or she's gonna have some type of stalker that's crazy as well too. Because a lot of these influencers don't realize y'all can get touched, and it's mainly women. It's unfortunate. It's just the dark side of being on social media is that a lot of these women they put themselves in danger when they they don't have the covering of a man. They are out there and in the public spaces, and they become unfortunately they become the target of some of these deranged and sick individuals, and it's not right. But unfortunately these kids, I mean, try telling the kids that like they lost their mom because she wanted to live this type of life, and they lost their father too. Well, he's a stepdad, so maybe he didn't have any kids with him. That could be a possibility too. It was a stepdad.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm looking at her IG page, and number one, we are heterosexual men here. great effort.
Hey, drop the
Number
link. Drop
two,
the link.
drop the link.
Yeah,
How
the
about I
audience.
share the page? Yeah, yeah. Let's share the wealth with the audience. But
I'm surprised the page is still.
the reason why I pulled up the IG, believe it or not, was she's a fitness instructor. I wanted to see some of her client results.
Oops, sorry. There you go.
Like, are you posting some of your clients' results? I saw there's two right here, but the rest of this is just eye candy, eye candy,
Yeah.
eye candy.
Yeah, mainly from men. Wait. Go
Here's
back.
the
Go back.
one
Is
she
that
announced that
pregnant?
she's pregnant.
What?
Yeah, that's her pregnant one.
That's got to be an old one. What's the date on that? If you can. If not, just go to the next one.
June 2nd. Oh, it's her 16 and pregnant story. She must have had her first kid when she was 16.
Jeez.
Okay, but so look, man, this is all types of bad. Men, this is where we fail because we don't, for some reason we have a problem holding women with beauty accountable for anything. We let them get away with way more stuff. I don't care what she looks like. If she's walking up on you with a 7-kid deal, that's not a good deal for most men.
It's a terrible deal.
It's just not. The circumstances behind it don't matter. It's not a good deal, and he should have realized that. You have to own your own safety because you got to do your own due diligence on any woman that you associate with because she's not going to fully disclose to you. That's why body count and exes conversation is so offensive to them because they have some bodies that they're ashamed of that could potentially put the next guy in danger and they don't want to tell you about it.
Well, this other thing too. She knew her ex was crazy or had some derangement to himself, and she should have like. This is the thing about women, and I try to tell this, and I want people. He's a misogynist. This is the thing. A woman will not tell you if you're in danger from her ex. She will not tell you. And the majority of people, if we're going by statistics, the statistics say it's going to be someone close to you. So maybe your friend, maybe your husband that's going to put your life in harm. Okay. Like, if you're in the close proximity and some other things that go along with it, they're going to be the people most likely do harm to you. She had a duty to tell that guy, hey, you get involved with me, this guy, your life is in danger. I know no man that's putting his life, if man, especially a new man, is showing up and like, you know what? I'm gonna ride with it. I can fight. Like, can you stop? Can you stop the iron? Can you stop? Can you stop that? Nope.
And while you talking about you know how to fight, you better look at those ears and see if there's some cauliflower on there because there's more and more people are into the martial arts nowadays too. Man, you better do your due diligence, man, and check out the situation before you act. We got to do better, fellas. A lot of these women don't deserve our energy like this. They don't.
Yeah, like and MC, you've said this before though, where you have mentored men. Does this conversation ever come up, or is this something you might want to put on for future dialogue though? Because when I was growing up, I didn't think it was I mean, I had kids young, so I thought it was always normal. But there was one situation where I had, messaged a girl, and this was like all on Facebook. And so Facebook was a little bit different than it is today. Like you can definitely see when people add new friends or it tells you they added somebody or whatever. And her baby daddy messaged me. He's like, hey, this ain't the chick for you. I'm like, who's this?
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on here?
Some
like
weirdo stuff.
Yes, weirdo, but these dudes is crazy. Dudes will crash out over these women, and they always trying to talk about like, the red pill men or the red pill community. I guarantee you this guy was not red pill, because if he was red pilled, he would have realized she's for the streets and they go get a new one. Like at the end of the day, he should have known that this woman was bad for him. And at some point he was going to lose this woman if he didn't like keep leveling up or at least push himself forward. But because he, wanted to hold on to this woman, and she's a good looking woman. I'm not going to cap on here. She's a very good looking woman. But at the end of the day though, new men, and he was a stepdad, they should not have been stepping into this situation. Now you lost your life. The mom lost her life, and the new dude lost his life. And so it's unfortunate. And a lot of men got to start understanding this. This story hasn't made its rounds or any. The story I feel like has been has made its rounds, but I don't think men in general are not paying attention to it because they're like, "Oh, I got nothing to do with me. I'm not worried about it," and it does.
And if you are witnessing this just as a bystander, don't get involved, man. Call the police and be like, look,
That's
just so
true
y'all
too.
know, just so you know, I called the police. And that's it. You did your part. You don't have an obligation to be a knight for everybody who puts themselves in situations like this.
Yeah.
It's dangerous in 2025. You can't do that anymore. I live in Phoenix, Arizona. This is open and concealed carry here. The first thing I learned when I moved here was if you are not armed, then you are behind. Everybody is armed here. You can't be out here messing
Yes.
around like that. You just cannot. You can't do it.
Wow. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. It's a tragic story, and hopefully the family can move forward. I don't know where the GoFundMe is at though, but hopefully they get the goal that they're looking for. So
And who pays for all of this? TR, the kids. The kids are the ones who suffer.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I'll say one more thing too is that I know a lot of people, and I've had the conversation with friends as well too, is that do you stay in a bad relationship or do you move forward or do you try to get out of the relationship? And we don't know if this guy was, if he was abusing her to what level. And I didn't watch any of the videos, but I think at the very least, if you got that many kids and you got especially a man that wants to be in your life and help take care of your kids, I feel like you got to work that out. You can't fall into getting this new attention because that's when it started when she started get back into shape and this woe is me mentality like women are not taught to this blah blah blah. Women should not be listening. Well, they're not going to be listening to her, but people like that women should not listen to because you don't know what life that they're wrecking to get to where they're at. And that is what's going to wreck a lot of people homes because they never tell you. They try to tell once you get to the end, once you get to you complete the task, they don't tell you about all the people you had to destroy on the way up. And a lot of times it's the husband, the boyfriend, the stepdad, and that becomes a problematic situation. And the kids, at the very least, are always destroyed. So let a lot of lessons to be learned, and I hope people watch this and take this to heart though, because it's a conversation that men need to be aware of and think, is this a good deal for me? She has this many kids, has a crazy ex. Do I engage? And on the surface, people say no, you wouldn't, but we see Sims deleting all these men.
The time, those white knights.
Yep. So all right, we are going to jump to Joy.